I also love this concept of the BECA Playbook, which I suggest everyone in the audience go check out BECA's website. But there's this concept of the BECA Playbook unlocking the potential of Black marketers through the quote unquote secret tactics and networks that were previously not readily accessible. Can you tell us more about this playbook?
I'm so glad you asked me about that because we went round and around about what we wanted to call this. We started from the simple descriptive to the esoteric, like that you'd have to get out a Ouija board and figure out what we were talking about. Um, and we said it, finally it was like, this is the playbook. This is the handbook that you want that you're not going to get. Many people don't get at home. And many people also don't get in the office, regardless of what level they are. I mean, I clawed my way to the C suite, right? Without having someone say, okay, Jerry, here's how you do it. And if we could collect those stories on how you do it, that was beautiful. Because here's what happens, Jeremy. Some people think they'll look at Jeremy and they'll say, well, Jeremy made it. I want to be just like Jeremy. I'm going to do exactly what Jeremy did. But then there's Jerry, and it's like, well, but Jerry made it and she did it differently. So I wanted to share stories of how people approach this very, very differently and avoid A, imposter syndrome. You can be who you are. B, you don't have to be perfect. C, there's more than one way to get to the top. But the most unique thing you can do is be yourself. And so this playbook really talks about we have future leaders. These are people that are 10 to 20 years in their career. And we say 10 to 20 years because, when you're starting out, there are two roads that emerge. One leads to derailment sometimes, and one leads to success. And about 10 to 20 years, you're on that path of trying to figure out, okay, yes, this is the profession I like. It's the career I like. And now I'm going to the top. All right, so let's set all of my sights on that. But what are those unwritten rules? Like, how do I manage the politics? How do I manage, marketers who, you know, I used to always tell my CFO, nobody tells you how to close the books every month, but everybody's got an opinion about what marketers do, right? So, right, Jeremy? I
Yep,
mean,
yep,
you
yep.
you have to have good listening skills, right? Because you're not imperial, you don't have all the answers, but you also have to have the strength of conviction so that when people think that what you're talking about is subjective, that you can give them enough analytics, data, and experience that this is a path we should go on. So in all that, some of our sessions are around being Black in corporate. Like, what is it? You're a leader, but you're a Black leader. Is there a distinction there? And for some people, it was like a leader is a leader. But then when we click down and below, that's like, well, but is it though? Because when you are Black and a leader or an underrepresented minority or BIPOC, you bring a very different level of culture and understanding to the situation that you have to leverage as power as opposed to a deficiency. And we talk to our future leaders about how they leverage the power of being different because it's not about a cultural fit, it's about a cultural add. And how does your voice and your experience of being othered, of being the lonely only, of being in the minority help expose people to wider, better, bigger, broader thinking? Because I can guarantee you their customer and consumer base is just as wide and broad. So that's what we share. We share it from everybody's individual perspective.
What are some of like the most important attributes for those who identify as Black marketing executives, Black marketing leaders? What are some of these important attributes that you've noticed or that you've seen or want to cultivate?
It is excellence. It is about there's no substitute for being damn good at what it is you need to do. Nobody was handing out free candy when we came along, right? Everything we've done, we've had to earn. But some people do think that, oh, okay, well, yeah, you came along because they just needed someone. No, we have worked very hard. And in fact, probably, the twice as hard for half as much, I think is very true in terms of a lot of the things that we've had to prove. Like sometimes people say, oh, well, we'll give it to Jeremy. He's shown the signs, he can grow into it. I think for many of us, by the time we're given the responsibility, we've already proven it. And we're just looking for the opportunity to be able to demonstrate that. So I would say that the skills that are required to be a great marketer are the green speeds for Black CMOs. And then you layer on top of that the grit, the empathy, because what happens is that you can't be the kind of person that walks in the door and thinks it's only about you. I think if you're not a part of an underrepresented group, you can think about just you. But when you are Black and walk in the door, you know that there are people that look like you that aren't in the room. And how are you advocating for them? And how do you make sure that the questions that you ask, the decisions that you make, the things that you push on, because you have to push and it can be uncomfortable. It's like sometimes it's like, can I just do my job? Can I just do my job? But we have, I think, the honor of representing others, not an obligation, but the honor of making it better for others. So got to do our job well, but you also have to be that voice that opens doors and makes it work for others that aren't in the room, that aren't where you are.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching. Please subscribe to this channel for more great marketing interviews with today's top industry leaders. And thank you to our partner at Salesforce. Salesforce brings marketing and engagement together. Learn more at salesforce.com/marketing.